Hey, Jason Palliser here with the No Flipping Excuses channel. And in this video, we're going to talk about who is the ideal avatar, who's the ideal type of property owner for a lease option. Who should we be going after? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we got some more good stuff coming. But let's kind of dive into that. So who would be ideal to go after to have the conversation and see if you can structure a real estate deal that's a win-win for the property owner and yourself from a lease option standpoint? What might be a good type of homeowner to go after? There's several things that you could think about here. One is when a homeowner, and the real answer is this: all of them. But if we start to dissect it a little bit deeper, though, in the spirit of any property owner, you should at least broach the subject with them. I think you already know that if you know me well enough and you've watched some of our videos. We offer it every single time because you don't strike a deal if you don't ask, right? But having said that, let's kind of dissect and dig a little deeper, though, even though I said it could be any property owner that you should at least, as a responsible, smart investor, have the conversation with. But who are some ideal ones to go after? The first one right out of the gate, and let's go for some low-hanging fruit here, folks. Okay, so let's go for some low-hanging fruit. Somebody that doesn't have a lot of equity. Okay? Because we're talking about a lease with an option to buy it at some future time later, controlling the property without having to buy it. That's what we're talking about here. Somebody that doesn't have a lot of equity. Here's why. You can encounter in the marketplace tons of property owners. So here, let's dig a little deeper on this. Okay. So you can go after property owners that don't have a lot of equity that to a casual investor doesn't look like, well, it's a waste of time. It doesn't look like a deal to me. Beginner's game. And here's what I mean by that. While everybody else is going, I'm going to look for a property that has tons of equity. Well, I want to say some bad words. I won't. No crap, huh? You're going to go after property owners that have lots of equity? Every investor should. But a smart investor goes after a homeowner that doesn't have a lot of equity because they're not going into it just for a regular purchase. They're going into it to have a conversation about doing a lease with an option to buy. So somebody that doesn't have equity is a prime candidate for a lease with an option to buy. Here's why. They don't have a lot of equity. They may have some motivation or some things going on, but they know that they're not going to end up, okay? They're not going to end up with a lot of money if they just straight sell the property. This is where you come in and talk to the homeowner about, hey, look, I know there's not a lot of equity here. And I know that I'd be closer to here on a normal transaction in this area. I'd be closer to 80. I know you're at 100. I always like to use easy numbers, for example. That's where you're at an impasse. And you'd probably never reach an agreement with them if they wanted 100 because it might be worth 100. So it doesn't make sense, but it could make sense if you broach the subject as a lease option. Can you pay market rate for a property as a responsible investor? Most of us are like, why are you paying full price for that? Well, you can pay full price if it's an option to buy it 3 years from now. Why does that benefit you? Because 3 years from now, it could be worth 150. And instead of just disagreeing on price at 80 and throwing them in your follow-up engine forever, which drives me crazy if you can strike a deal on the spot. If I can pay what they want by doing a lease option deal, now I get the deal and I don't have to throw them in my follow-up, which I already mentioned. And I can now control the property again without buying it, which saves me thousands of dollars anyways. I always say, and here, maybe this is a better way to infuse this into your brain forever, permanently. Every time you do a lease option, and you think that, well, I'm at 80, they're at 100. There's still a 20 grand spread here. No, it's not. If you do a lease with an option to buy and control the property without needing to go get a loan, you already just saved 4 or 5 grand. So it's really 80 up to 95 because you would have paid money to knock that deal down typically. Okay. So you're really not paying as much as you think based upon if you would have done a regular transaction. So keep that in the back of your brain. You're closer. You're always closer than you think. But we're talking about who's an avatar, so who's a good avatar to go after. So one is somebody that doesn't have a lot of equity. They may be highly motivated to get their number. And so those are the people that you should be talking to. Now, another person or another type of homeowner that you could go after. And again, I think some of these are logical, but it's worth noting because, again, don't know where you're at in your life cycle of investing. So at least I need to throw it out there for you. Pre-foreclosure. Somebody that's behind on their payments and the bank's officially filed and said, I'm done with you. You're running out of time. You have 90 days left, 60 days left. We struck a deal and did a lease with an option to buy with 3 days left. And so why would that homeowner be a good candidate? Because it's very easy for you. And this is where the teaching comes in. So pay attention. Couldn't you just adopt the policy and do this forever, month over month for the next 10 years of you wearing your investor hat? Go after every pre-foreclosure because they're running out of time. Okay. So, and if you like what you're hearing here, drop us a comment, click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe because you don't want to miss the other good stuff that we're rolling out. But listen to me, pre-foreclosure. Why would you not go after all of them and broach the subject with a lease with an option to buy? Because here's an easy conversation to have if someone's taught you. Okay. Hey, look, I know you're running out of time. And I know that sometimes the banks need 30 to 45 days to close. And we're way shorter before the foreclosure happens than that time frame. So instead of doing a regular purchase here, why don't we do a lease with an option to buy? I can catch up some back payments for you. And I'll start making XYZ payment. And I promise to buy it for a higher amount here 24 months from now. This is a perfect, This is a perfect scenario for you to strike a deal with the homeowner that's in pre-foreclosure because you can use the, hey, we're running out of time card and they're ready to listen. A lot of homeowners that don't have this level of motivation they may not entertain the subject, right? They may not be your good avatar to go after, but a pre-foreclosure, without a shadow of a doubt, is somebody that you should absolutely go after. Another one that you could go after is, I said people that don't have a lot of equity in a marketplace where inflation's happening, in a marketplace where interest rates are skyrocketing, and properties are sitting on the market longer and prices are going down. A lot of people are upside down. The absolute best candidate to go after is somebody that owes a little bit more on their property than what it's worth. And there's tons of people out there that have done that. Now, when I say that casually, you might go, Jason, are there really, like, the market's been so good? What you may not understand is this: when interest rates were great, lending was easy, equity was going up and up and up. Come on, we live in America. You know what a lot of Americans do, right? And for some of you, this may sting a little bit. You know what Americans do. Oh, I got some more equity. I need a boat. I need this. Give me a boat. Give me that trailer hitch that I've been looking for forever. I could go on and on and on and on. And so hear me when I say this. You have equity. Lending's easy. What they'll do is they'll get a second mortgage. They'll get a line of credit. And when interest rates are good, the economy's good and lending's easy. Banks are loose on their guidelines because they're like, well, next year it's going to be worth more. So sure, we'll lend up to 100% of the value of the house, or we'll lend up to 95% of the value of the house. When they do that, and then the economy flips a little bit, just even a little bit, banks will immediately tighten the reins on lending. Values go down, days on market. Now all of a sudden, where they lent out to 95%, that 95% is now actually they owe above what the current appraised value of the property is. These are prime candidates for you to do a lease option. Now, as a responsible investor, why would you ever buy a house or structure a deal with a homeowner where they owe a little bit more than what it's worth? Here's why. You can do a lease with an option to buy. You could do it 3 years from now. 3 years from now, guess what? It could flip and there could be 50 grand in equity, 40 grand in equity. Here's another reason. Let's just say it stays stagnant and it just literally is floating above water and then below water as far as value versus what's owed. If you can take it over on a lease with an option to buy, and again, when I said when the economy was good, they may have an incredible interest rate on the property, right? And you just negotiate. Again, You're trying to help solve their problem. You just negotiate a payment to them on a monthly basis with a future offer to buy it at whatever price makes them happy 3 years from now. Now you control the property. What I'll do is I'll negotiate whatever payment and sign a lease with them with the option to buy the house 2 years or 3 years from now, as close to their smoking good payment that they have because they had an incredible interest rate as I can. I might be able to cash flow that property, even though it's hovering above and below water. I might be able to cash flow that property $500 a month while I'm letting equity build back up. Even if it doesn't build back up, I don't care. If I can control an asset versus just disagreeing on price and throwing them in my follow-up engine. If I can control a property and cash flow it, without even having to buy it, why would I not do that? And here's what I want to equate it to for you in your head. That's like somebody coming up to you, okay? That is literally like somebody coming up to you off the street and saying, hey, you want to sign this piece of paper? And you don't have to buy anything from me, but you can make $500 a month. And you did your due diligence, and you're like, if I sign this piece of paper and I do this agreement with you, I can just simply make $500 bucks a month and I don't have to literally buy anything. All of us would explore that option. That's what we're talking about here. We're just talking about the component of using real estate and structuring deals at a superior level as a weapon. Is this understood? Is this sinking in? If so, what I want you to do is simply comment, ask questions as well. We will answer your questions. We're here to help you grow as an investor. So put some comments, questions in there, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you're really liking the content, what I'd like you to do as teammates here, share it with other investors that you know. Tell them to check out our channel. So stay tuned. We got more good stuff coming. See you soon. Go get them, folks. Hey, Jason Palliser here from the No Flipping Excuses channel. So just for being on our channel, here's what we're going to do. Go to www.theflippingbook.com, where we're going to break down for you and give you for $7. If you go to Amazon, it's $24.95. You're going to save $17 and get an instant download of our wholesaling book, where we break down how to get leads and deals under contract that other investors don't even know about, and get smoking hot deals on the back end, and then how we run circles around our competition and how you can close your first deal or start stacking on top of that. So you just need to go to theflippingbook.com, and we put it together for you, and it's our gift to you for $7, not $24.95, just for being on our channel. So check it out.